Yep. And anybody else like to ask a question? Yeah.
With those 12 DNA strands,
Yeah.
how is it a process that you, like, just a power intent on through meditation and actually activating the doorways?
Yeah, it's actually already happening without even our personality aware of it. Everyone throws, lower ego, all that business. I just like to call it the personality of this incarnation. So without your personality being aware of it, you're already activating them. And it's happening. So I know on a higher level, the choice of who goes through and who doesn't go through has already been made. So I'm here to tell you, relax. It's cool, If you're going to go through, you're going to go through. If you're not meant to go through, you're not going to go through. And it's okay. And just enjoy every moment of life that's left in this reality. And it's all already happening. We're already doing it. You don't actually have to go sit in a cave and meditate for 3 years. You don't have to go on any of these incredible spiritual journeys. If you want to, you can. I mean, that's part of your journey then. But like I said to you, Joe Blogg's working in a factory. He's going through, and he's not doing any of that stuff. It doesn't mean he's no less evolved than what I am, Yeah. So believe in yourself, trust in yourself, and just know that your greater being, you, the real you, is already taking care of it. Yeah. We just got to surrender to that. Yeah. Yeah.
When you said that you've got the 3 choices of where to go with the Fridays on the false light, and you said you were going to stay here.
Yeah.
Right. So does that mean that when the Earth turns into a star, that you perish with that? Or
No. No.
I need a bit of clarification.
Sure. What happens is dimensional doorways are going to open up all over the Earth. And that is what this represents. The womb of the mother. These are the dimensional doorways that will... that's a symbolic version of what's actually going to happen. I've spoken to some people and they've already said they've already seen... Like a good friend of mine had an experience where he walked out of one of the doorways to go and collect his mother. And he brought his mother to this field, grassland, where this doorway was. And he says, "Come with me, Mum, in here." And she's going, "Where?" "All I see is the paddock, And he goes, "Don't you see it?" And she went, "No." And he just was like, torn between the love of his mother and his path. And he had to let go of his mum and turn around and walk through back through that doorway into Avalon. So we're going to walk through these doorways into Avalon, and once we're on that level, we're in sanctuary, because we're above the lower vibratory levels of the 3rd and 4th dimensional stuff that will take place here. Those dimensional doorways are a pathway to sanctuary.
Right. And so when the Earth turns, it's like that 3-month when the Earth turns into the star after you walk through the doorways.
Yeah. Because she'll be cleansing herself on this level, but when the actual time, like earthquakes and tidal waves and everything, because you've got to understand, when you're in the 5th dimension, there's no steel, there is no plastic, there is no electricity, there is anything like that. She's got to return her body back to the 5th dimension, so she will crush everything. Like if there is a steel tower on the top of Mount Everest, that will go. So everything has to go. Yeah. And then we'll prepare for the ascension process, which is that activation of the starlight body, and that's when the outer crust melts. Gone. Yep. And we go into this higher vibratory state. Because when you travel to the sun, this sun, or any other star, like where I come from Sirius, is one of the stars. That's actually a planet on a higher level, you see. It's just that it's vibrating at a higher level, but you see it as light. That's all. The sun here is a planet too. I've got friends who have travelled there and read scrolls and spent time there and journeyed there. People have gone through the sun, because it's the doorway as well, it's the Stargate, it's the real Stargate, and this planet is now the Stargate. This planet's becoming a star as well. And that's with the feminine taking that plunge into the lower universe as that sacrificial journey, and then coming back up in divine union to be equal with her loved one once again, vibrating on the same level. That's why she's turning into a star. It's the return back to her loved one. Yeah. Yes, Simon.
What you only see is the stargate if you're ascending, that's all. You can't ascend.
Yeah, well, I've got friends and myself personally who have travelled through the sun already and taken that journey many times with our higher consciousness. So when the time comes and these doorways, you will just be automatically in here, you'll just be guided to go somewhere and walk through. I've also journeyed in the future, and I saw myself standing outside one of those doorways, and there was another friend with me, and there was lots of people running up to where we were, and they were all preparing to walk through. And we had to settle them down because they were, you know, a little bit frantic, huffing and puffing, and that's what a lot of people in this room are going to be doing. We're going to walk through these doorways, then we're going to come back out, and then we're going to help the people. Okay? And you will automatically know inside of you. Don't let anyone tell you what to do. I can't tell you what to do. I just know what's going to be happening, you know? That's all. But I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. You just follow what's in here. Yeah. Yeah. Yes?
I had a similar friend who had a similar experience with their sense vortex, where you guys discussed the places. Just because what colour was yours?
Blue.
Yeah, okay. So,
yeah.
Also, how long do you feel that we're actually going to be? Is it like a void that we go through and wait for this 3-month period? Or are we going to move to this space where the time is on a different frequency that was last, and so it might feel like it's going for a day or it's actually going for 3 days?
Yeah, it will. It'll feel different.
And then this fifth dimension, heaven. Actually, I think you spoke about it.
Yeah. Well, heaven, what we refer to as heaven is the fifth dimension.
Yeah.
But where we're moving into when we ascend is something totally brand new that's never existed before. You know, you're talking about a whole planetary, see the Christ figure or the Buddha or the Krishna or whatever, right? That level, that's what you're going to become, equal with that. So Mother Earth is giving birth to a whole planetary race. That's why the darkness is so incensed at the moment, because one going around the universe is bad enough. Imagine having a whole planetary race of Christed beings roaming the universe. Like they are going, you know. And when we do reach that Christhood, the idea is, and you'll be omnipresent, and this will all happen simultaneously at the same time, you will be given a void to go and create your own universe. Okay? So instantly you've reached the status of a creator God, and part of your consciousness will go off and do that. Then you have duties and responsibilities in the lower universes, in the fourth and the third. So part of you will go back to your home galactic systems and your home star nations, an aspect of your being, and you will go and you will teach, okay, the wisdom of life. And that's why it's a ripple effect. And this is on the chalice lid in Glastonbury. And of course, every symbol has a multi-dimensional meaning, and I'm just going to give you one that I think is really important here. If you look, when you throw a stone in a puddle of water, you get the ripple effect that goes out. So here's the sun, and here's the earth, and when they become two suns, the energy beam of each one will ripple out, and eventually this part here grows out now, this beautiful balanced state here. And so you've got the twin flames in here, which have merged and become one. And then as they go out, they grow and they become one big ripple, and that will go out. And so the effect of the fourth dimension, when this transpires here, it will have a ripple effect, not only energetically, but practically, pragmatically, functionally throughout the whole universe. What's going on here on this planet right now is the process of creating peace, is bringing all the separation and all the pain and all the suffering to an end. the ripple effect. Yep. Anybody else got any questions? Anything at all? Feel free. Otherwise, I'm going to start talking again. You don't want that to happen, do you?
On your model of the dimensions,
Yeah.
what level is a star on? Like as a sort of fractal down, as we look up at the stars, what dimension your model are they in?
Some are fifth. The lowest one's a fifth. Yep. That's as low as they go. Yeah. In my model, in my understanding. I could be wrong, but that's how I see it. Yeah. Yeah. And just so you get an understanding too, I've recently come across a mantis being who is part of the Orion League. Like the higher aspect of this being is the star you know as Rigel. And it's interesting because, like, you know, the mantis beings and these type of insect beings were the very first physical structures that lowered down into that came down into the lower universes, because the reality was really harsh. So that's why they had this really tough external shell to accommodate life in that harsh environment. So the understanding is that this being on another level is that star. And it's interesting because it's not only an insect being, but its star vibration attracts insect grey races as well, the Rigelian greys. So it's really interesting to understand the structure of our galaxies, of our universe, and how when your being resonates, because that's what we call gravity, right? We gravitate, your soul gravitates. People don't understand gravity. The scientists go and scratching their heads, we don't understand what gravity is. Well, it's really simple. It's the law of attraction. That's all it is. They're going through all these crazy scientific formulas, this, that, the other, and say, hey guys, the answer is really this simple. It's the law of attraction. So when a being resonates itself as a planetary body, it sends a signal out through the universe. And all the souls that need that experience and that life and that journey will naturally want to gravitate and incarnate in that realm, that vibratory realm. It's that simple.